narrative, which I don't really believe.
I don't believe it either.
A lot of people seem to believe. One of the things I noticed at the time that...
Yeah, we got about 10, 15 minutes left, something like that.
One of the things I wanted to make sure, you know what my original story is?
Yes, please. Let's close with that.
Back in 1961, I was thrown out of the College of William and Mary for admitting to the dean that I'm a latent homosexual. That actually happened right after Thanksgiving, and my first book gives the entire narrative of why that happened. I had a roommate who was homophobic. He started bringing the subject up. I didn't bring the subject up, but he did. And then things escalated, and I got called into the dean's office on the Friday after Thanksgiving, but we didn't go home for Thanksgiving break. And I told him that I thought I was a latent homosexual, but I'd never done anything. Well, and then, so I was thrown out of school for having said that and expected to get psychiatric therapy.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would be allowed back if a psychiatrist said it was okay.
Wow.
So in 1962, I actually entered a program at NIH in Bethesda, the clinical center for people that had been, it was supposed to be people that had psychological problems in college. And this was during the Kennedy years when they were worried about the Soviet Union. And, you know, like the movie The Lavender Scare last night that I watched. But what they seemed to be worried about was that I wasn't open to relationships with people that I could find anything wrong with. And it's true, I'm very picky about who I'll allow to be intimate with, who I'll feel. And I would never get married, would never have children, because I was so critical of other people that I had to learn to value other people. And the other patients on the men were a lot more intact than the women were because of the way they picked people. So I did bond, and so they made suspicious. It made them suspicious when I bonded with one or two of the more intact men, but not the women. Well, the women were a lot more radical. In fact, one of the women wanted to be a man, was trans, but they couldn't deal with that back then. And then I lived at home. My parents actually paid for my tuition, and that the rules, I must never mention homosexuality again. Well, if you can't mention, today you can't mention white supremacy on YouTube. If you can't mention something, then that something that you can't mention can be anything. That people don't remember 50 years ago, that's how it was. Well, things changed in the mid-'60s. I wound up going to KU